My Wife's Movie Club watched the 2001 film Legally Blonde, starring Reese Witherspoon. When I think about romantic comedies, the story is usually about some smart but forgotten, cute but overlooked, and maybe fun but always busy with a good cause girl or woman who is also oftentimes nerdy and frumpy. She's not quite completely unfortunate looking, but oftentimes needs some sort of makeover to impress the guys. Usually, at the end of the movie, we find that the lead man starts to see the shallowness of his model girlfriend and starts to appreciate the inner beauty and depth of the smart, serious, and previously overlooked girl or woman. There are a lot of different ways to get there, but basically, this is the formula. Legally Blonde, on the other hand, flips the script. It's almost written from the point of the rich family model girlfriend point of view. Elle Woods is obsessed with fashion and beauty. She doesn't need a makeover, and she would normally be the adversary or villain in a regular rom-com. She has it all. The boyfriend, the looks, the wealthy family, etc. But just as she expects to be proposed to, her boyfriend dumps her because he needs to have someone serious. Elle is devastated and returns to her sorority with a broken heart. But it looks like she still has it all. Her sorority sisters are very supportive and try to carry her burdens. Her sorority is full of happy and determined and equally obsessed with fashion and beauty women, and everyone seems to love and support each other. There is no envy, no destructive jealousy there. You get the feeling they were all very supportive of each other and love each other like the great sisters would. It is assumed that Elle Woods is shallow and a ditz because of her appearance, but she's smart and determined. Because her appearance and behavior, everyone treats her like she's dumb. And the association with her blonde is played up because the stereotype exists. When Elle enters Harvard Law, she is treated like a villain, or at least that is how everyone treats her at first. Despite her being beautiful, fully aware, and empowered by her girly girl nature, she becomes an outcast from the normal society at Harvard. In the movie, Elle is treated like a Barbie doll without a brain and insulted mostly by her ex-boyfriend and his fiancée, but some other stereotype characters as well. She is attractive to many and seen as an object to at least one professor. Luckily, in this rom-com, a handsome and understanding lawyer crosses her path. In the end, Elle has it all again. The respect of her classmates, loads of friends, a serious boyfriend, a job, a record as a law student who has already won her first murder case. All those who underestimated or misjudged her are now on her side. So, what does this movie tell us? Is this simply a movie that gives us unrealistic expectations? You can have it all and so can everybody else. Or is the central message, don't judge others by their appearances? When I first saw Legally Blonde, it surprised me how much I enjoyed the movie. Romantic comedies with girly girl, blonde ditz types are not the normal movie for me, but this movie was a bit different. The thing that attracted me most was not the fashion or legal jargon, the unrealistic and illegal activities that take place, but the best thing about the movie for me is to watch Elle Woods react to other people's attacks, their biases, their prejudice, their sometimes even hatred towards her. Elle stays optimistic, enthusiastic, and determined. Yes, in the movie she does waver a bit, almost giving up, but that's only to rally and try even harder. Why? I think it's because she respects herself. She knows who she is. She respects others in the same way. People mock her style, her looks, and basically tell them their assumptions about her, but she does not respond in kind. She is happy with who she is, and she does no harm to anyone else. Notice how she treats others. When she finds out Warner and Vivian are engaged, she is sad, but she does not try to destroy Vivian, only to compete with her. There is some snarky banter, but Elle does not try to damage her in class, doesn't sabotage her, or try to humiliate her. Vivian, on the other hand, does all those things to Elle. Instead, Elle tries to make herself more attractive to Warner, studies harder for class, and attempts to improve herself. She believes that if Warner and her classmates see that she has got what it takes, then he and they will choose her. What I love about Elle is that she tries to improve herself instead of trying to pull other people down. Once Vivian sees Elle's integrity during a case and that she is doing as well, if not better than most other law students, she begins to see her in a different light, and Elle immediately accepts her goodwill and friendship. She is not limited to the first impressions, and she doesn't hold a grudge. Vivian learns the hard way that being quick to judgment is not always the best approach. When Professor Callahan makes an advance on her, which is inappropriate, Elle chooses to quit. She sees his actions as inappropriate and a sign that she may have not earned her spot as an intern. She does not burn down his house or go to the press or attack him or make it all about him. She does what is best for her and others. This would be a different discussion if he was physically abusive or forced her to do things that she was not willing, but none of this happens. I mean, this is a comedy after all. But we can judge him for his taste in women and counsel him on not to date interns and stick to his age group or all those things. Maybe not to use such lame lines like animal behavior or stuff like that, but those are our values, not his. Elle recognizes her options and she takes them. Her method of response is not revenge. It is not to force someone else to do anything else, even when they're jerks, mean, or inappropriate. Instead, she does what is in her power to better herself without tearing others down. When the two college girls start mocking the awkward David Kidney, she doesn't scold them or attack them in any way. She sees an opportunity to perhaps give them a different perspective by approaching David and treating him like a great lover that she misses. When treated with hostility and false judgment by Enid Wexler, the lesbian stereotype, she responds with a statement about who she is. She says, "I don't use that word, and if you came to my party, I would at least have been nice to you." Finally, Elle does not change who she was to appease the bias, prejudice, and hatred of others. She didn't start dressing like everyone else just to fit in. She knew who she was and what she was about. She had respect for herself enough to stay true to herself. That is why we are not surprised when her lawyer debut in a murder trial, she is dressed in a full pink outfit. Elle does not try to control others, and she refuses to be bullied, and she does not bully in return. It is Elle that makes this a good movie. There are a couple of parts I really don't like about this movie. First is the bend and snap. This is just weird to me. It's not attractive at all. But for those of you who love this move and that action, more power to you. Elle's graduation speech, she talks about Aristotle being wrong and that it's good to have passions in life and law. But this is a semantics misunderstanding at best, so it seems a bit misguided to me. Aristotle's statement is about the application of the law, not our motivations, meaning the law should be fair and not subject to the whims or passions of men. Her objection to Aristotle is just misunderstanding him. And finally, one thing I didn't like was I did not like the Warner Huntington III story arc. He made some poor choices, sure, but why does this movie have to continually dump on him? I mean, I think I much would have rather seen him learn from his mistakes and attempt to change for the better, not just be without a girlfriend, without honors, and without a job at the end, like it's justice or something. In summary, Reese Witherspoon does a great job in this movie. She embodies the positive, optimistic determination of Elle Woods. Her character is a shining example of integrity, commitment, optimism, and enthusiasm. Someone who loves themselves and does no harm. I liked this movie when I first saw it some 15 to 20 years ago, and I still think there's a lot of good in this movie.
What?
Elle.